So friends, it's chapter 2 from the Seth book. Seth speaks the eternal validity of the soul. So here, we all have certain environment, though it is physical or non-physical existence, we dwell into that environment and we have some work and activities. In the same way, Master Seth has his own environment and his environment and how he created and how it has formed. So everything we will learn and about his work, not in one place, in different dimensions, and about his activities, other activities. So coming to the introduction of his environment, let me read a few lines from the book. So here, my present, Seth Master says, my present existence is the most challenging one that I have known, and I have known many, both physical and non-physical. There is not just one dimension in which non-physical consciousness resides, any more than there is only one country on your planet or planet within your solar system. So he says, so there are few more environments, non-physical, though we count only physical environment, isn't it? So we can easily count physical environment, like we can take as each and every country, so we can able to count. But he says the non-physical existence, there are also so many dimensions. So they are not one. So there is no one, only one non-physical dimension, non-physical realm. So he says there are many. So in that many, so he lives in, his consciousness is present in one environment. So first he is explaining about don't limit ourselves in no. He is trying to explain us. He is trying to expand our consciousness that there are many realms. There are many non-physical planes, we can say. And next he says, my environment now is not the one in which you will find yourself immediately after death. So here we said that is a non-physical existence. So after we leave our body in this physical realm, in this physical environment, we go into the other worlds. So he says it's not easy, to enter into my environment. Then why? I cannot help speaking humorously, but you must die many times before you enter this particular plane of existence. And he says about birth is much more of a shock than death. Sometimes when you die, you do not realize it, isn't it? But birth almost always implies a sharp and sudden recognition. So there is no need to fear death. And I, who have died many more times than I care to tell, write this book to tell you. So he also has taken incarnations on this physical plane, just like us. And he has learned. So this is how, friends, we become a creators. So when we understand, so when we come here to experience, to learn the wisdom through experience, and we gain that, we clear all that ignorance in us, and we will become creators. So at the every soul which has departed from the higher self, it takes many births in different forms, and again finally it has to reach the state of creative. So it has to become creator. So next is, my work in this environment provides far more challenging than any of you. So he says about, I will say more of it shortly. First of all, you must understand that no objective reality exists, but that which is created by consciousness. Consciousness always creates form and not the other way around. So, my environment is a reality of existence created by myself and others like me, and is represents the manifestation of our development. That means a single thought. So he has created his environment with a single thought, he has manifested. And not only him, so the like-minded people, we say, like we form a like-minded people, we attract a we like to share with a like-minded people, isn't it? So we can't share everything to everyone. In the same way, that means this group work. So they did a group work, a group of masters. They came together and they have created one environment. So they stay there and don't think that they have just like our physical bodies. They are consciousness. So further he says about, and now this is about, the environment. Coming to my experience here, when I closed my eyes, so the initial, so when I'm reading these chapters, this book, so I just closed my eyes because it happened naturally. So I wanted to, because of a huge flow of energy, so automatically my eyes got closed. So then I saw a place. It's just empty space. Nothing is there. It's just empty space. And imagine, just close your eyes and imagine as if you are going into the cloud. And how you feel. You are going into the cloud. So we feel that the space, but yet there is something in there, isn't it? Though we enter into that cloud, we feel that it is that it is completely empty. No, there are no things right in the cloud. So it is completely empty, but yet we will experience certain feeling, right? So in the same way, so when I closed my eyes, so I went into so my visions, as if I went into that environment. I don't know whether when I'm reading the first chapter and I am unaware of this environment chapter, of this, of what Seth speaks about his dimension. So I felt like something, no, I entered into some energy field, and I felt this master and felt the energies of Seth Master. And when I started to read chapter 2 about his environment, I was, yeah, happy, but I was literally felt like awesome and shocked, because the same thing I have experienced. So whenever we need to connect with the master, if we need to connect with the master, just close your eyes, hold the book, and just be open to the master. So this is how we have to read the book. Be open, and like heavy wisdom, or the flow, like Seth books or any certain books, we can't just enter into the book as well. So we need their help. So just close your eyes, ask help from master. They will guide, not only me, they will guide everyone who wants that. And this is how my experience is. So we entered into that space. It's empty space, completely empty space, but we can feel the energies there, right? And next, coming to his work, though we are they have created. So they are created by our mental patterns, as your own physical reality is created in perfect replica of your inner desires and thoughts, isn't it? In the same way as we see, so he says there is no physical or permanent structures there, right? And this is has created from mental patterns. And here, masters, we have to know our patterns. So what are our patterns, or why, what is it repeating? Because we create our own reality with the patterns within, with the thoughts. And the thoughts, where it arises from the old patterns. So every time, every time, when we are creating something, when we think of something, we have to break the pattern. Unless we break the pattern, we can't create new thing. We can't create something, something as above. So first we have to remember to break the pattern. So here they also, what they did is, through their thought, only the thought, they have created that environment. And see how strong their energies are, how strong their thought is. And next is so their desires. You think that objects exist independently of you, not realizing that they are instead the manifestations of your own psychological and psychic selves. We realize that we form our own reality, and therefore we do so with considerable joy and creative abandon. In my environment, you would be highly disoriented, for it would seem to you as if it lacked coherency. So there is no connectivity. They are creating from joy. So when we create when we are in creation mode, we have to be in joy. So every thought we create from ourselves, so we have to create it from the joy. And next is, they say there are no physical or permanent structures. As you know, realm, we have physical and permanent structures. We have buildings right here. So there is no physical structure there in that environment. It's not city or town. It's just an empty space. I do not mean to imply that we are off in empty space. So they say, we don't think that we are just in an empty space, in an empty house. We think that your house is empty, so there is no things, right? So we don't, their mindset, see their mindset. So it is not empty. For one thing, we do not think of space as you do. So they say, they do not think as we think of space. When we enter into certain hall, or we see that it's so empty, that means just think of your thought. When you see an empty space, just think. So masters, this Seth wisdom, when we try to understand parallelly, we have to place ourselves just beside this wisdom, just beside the Seth masters. So unless just you read like a novel, just you read like a newspaper, we can't connect. So we have to try our best to connect with the wisdom. How? We have to place ourselves parallelly. So here, just think. That means what I did is, when I'm reading each and every paragraph, I used to think about myself, so that it made me easy. It made me to connect easily to the master's wisdom. So now just close your eyes and think of a space, just an empty space. Don't put your mind, don't put your thoughts, anything. Just see your feelings, experience your feelings. So when you see an empty space, so what do you think? Just for 2 seconds. What do you think? Right. So anyone would like to have to share message in chat? So what do you think? Seeing an empty space. So when we see in an empty space, so I felt like it's nothing there. Yeah, Sirisha. It's like nothing. We feel like, no, we have to be true to ourselves as well. So even I felt there is nothing. So this is how we think. This is how we approach things. This is how we see in that angle. But here, now see the Seth masters, so they're in their realm, so in their thoughts, it is not an empty space, though something they can create. That means, so we see nothing, but they see many things. So they say that means for them, for example, we can say that for them, it's an empty canvas. Empty canvas. Now you think about an empty canvas. When you go for a shopping to a stationery shop, you see an empty canvas. Now you think what you can do. So what your thoughts are? Empty canvas. When you see an empty canvas. Now anyone would like to share your thoughts? The chat. When you see an empty canvas. So before we saw empty space. Now an empty canvas, a board. So what you think of? So what are your thoughts? Yes, white color, and we can create anything. So thank you, Sirisha Garu and Jignasaji. Yes, we can create anything. This is how they see the space. They can create. So that means we have to shift our thought, friends, isn't it? So first we have seen a space. We see that there is nothing. In nothing, we can create something, right? So this is how their thoughts are. This is how Seth Master thinks about an empty space. And Seth Master said, and this is not from the book, friends. So he said, from nothing, you can create anything. Creativity enhances your frequency. So that means it's the way we look into the things. So Seth Master says, creativity enhances your frequency. That means we can build our creativity. So what happens when we build our creativity? It raises our frequency, it raises our vibration. And that means, so what you think outside is a projection of your inner self. Now, we did a small experiment, right? An empty space and an empty canvas. So that means we are projecting ourselves. So what we think outside, so what is the outside projection? Maybe a thought, maybe our work, maybe our words, so maybe our thinking towards others. That means outside projection is the reflection of our inner self. Now we have to check. What is going on within me. So how we are dealing with things, right? And next he says, creativity enhances your frequency. So what happens when we increase our frequency? Obviously, we can receive the wisdom, and also we can create a better and best reality. And it's all about the frequency, friends. So when we dwell into the lower frequency, we attract certain things. We are just a magnets. So what we think inside, we attract that. And Seth Master next says, they are created by our mental patterns, just like your physical reality is created in perfect replica of your inner desires and thoughts. And see now, first, for example, we bought a house, and unfurnished, or not only bought, so we entered into the house, so we took that house for a rent or anything. So it's an unfurnished. So how now, the way we think, so how do we think now? So what are the thoughts when you enter? It's your house. When you enter into the house, it is empty. And now just close your eyes and just imagine that you have entered into the house, your house. It's empty. And now what are your thoughts now? It's also empty, just like before. So what are your thoughts? Anyone interested to share? When you enter into a house, your house, yeah, that's right. So how will I decorate it? Isn't it? That's good. So future furniture. So we think of certain space, and we try to create, and we try to use that space think which requires furniture. Thank you, Sirisha ji and Namrata ji. So this is how we think, friends. That means for each and everything. So same thing, an empty space, what we thought, it's like nothing. That means which it doesn't belongs to us, isn't it? It doesn't belongs to us. We thought it's nothing. And second, we saw an empty canvas. Then a thought got strike that we can create something. That means a creative. That means we have that creative thoughts. And coming to a house, it's our own. So when we think it's our own, we try to think, isn't it? We try to think, we try to know we their desires and we our likes and dislikes, everything comes out now. That means that's also creativity. And now this is how in three different ways we see our different angles of our own self, isn't it? Our own self. So that means what we have to change, we have to think that now. So when we own something, we can plan better. When we think that this doesn't belongs to me, then our mind is stopped. Our creativity is stopped. No, that means here, what the pattern see, it's a common pattern for all of us, including me. It's a common pattern for all of us, isn't it? Now from today, we have to break that pattern. It's like we'll go into the belief system. This is how we enter into a belief system. Some myths and also some our own ability. We are not taking out our own ability. We have that much of potential in us and we are not utilizing that potential. Though we don't need to suggest. No, just use your potential. When you see an empty space, when you see something, so that means we have to use our creativity in everything. Though it's a natural flowers, no, though it's a natural flower. So what I used to think is, in a childhood, seeing a rose plant, a white color rose, a red color rose, and also a pink color rose used to have in our home. So I used to think, what if a single plant gets multicolors, all multicolored flowers? How beautiful it will be, isn't it? When we arrange a flower bouquet, so how beautiful with multicolors. One plant with many flowers, with many colors. So that means you think, just give a thought. This is how we build our creativity. And next comes, we decorate our house according to our likes and dislikes. According to our likes and desires. We realize that we form our own reality and therefore we do so with considerable joy and creative abandon. That means just imagine we are decorating our house with our desires. That means our designing furniture. This is how here a dining table or the kitchen, how it should be. So everything we each and every furniture, we check the designs and we check is it matching to our house or not. So what we are creating from joy, isn't it? We are arranging, we are decorating our house with our own desires. That means we are enjoying that is from the joy and creativity. So every time we have to remember something we are creating, that means it has to come from joy, and whatever it got manifested, so that we have to enjoy. So don't share in, don't think about others, what they will say. If you have created something, if you have painted something, some picture, so don't underestimate. First, don't we should not underestimate ourselves, and don't count your potential according to the others' thoughts. Okay. And here in this environment, you would be highly disoriented. So there is no coherency. And again, here we see that, is this matching to this the sofa? Is the sofa matching to a carpet or not? Is the carpet or the TV? Everything we see like an alignment. So when there is alignment, we feel joy, isn't it? When there is alignment, we feel joy. But here also we have to break the pattern. So though there is no alignment, even though we have to feel the joy. So it's all about what now? It's all about our thinking. And next comes his work. And his work is, we are aware of the inner laws that govern all materializations. However, I can have it night or day in your terms as I prefer, or any period, say, of your history. These changing forms would no way bother my associates, for they would take them immediate clues as to my mood, feelings, and ideas. And this paragraph, so my mind blown, friends. So this is how he is creating. So how he is creating means, so though in our creation we should not hurt other feelings, so no one. And coming to Seth Master, so when he creates certain images or certain physical things there, so there are other people as well. That means we think like people. There are other masters. That means a group has, they have created this environment with like-minded consciousness. So others, they won't get hurt. In fact, they won't even consider that. They won't bother that. So in fact, they understand the mood and thoughts of Seth Master. That means when we just imagine, when we enter into a house, to a friend's house, to our an unknown, so friend's house, when we see a bookshelf in the house, a big bookshelf, what we think? We think that, oh, they read. These people, they have habit of reading books. And when we see certain things, unique ones, so we think, isn't it? We think about their taste, we think about their thoughts. And this is in the same way. So these other people, so other masters, so the creativity, so whatever the Seth Master has created, they will know what in mood and what the thoughts is in, the Seth Master in. So in the I long back, earlier years, maybe very long back, so I have read in an article. It's a psychologist, 10 years old, I guess, I think. So 10 years old boy, so he made to paint. So he advised the boy, that this psychologist advised the boy to paint. And he has given many multicolors. So all colors he has provided with papers and colors. But the boy, he has painted everything in black color. Everything. So he has painted his mom's picture and his parents' picture and everything, but he only used black. So the psychologist, so then he approached, then he asked that boy, say, you have so many colors, why you have used only black? And he said, like, I got a strong, I felt like this black color, so I felt like to use only this black. And he is unable to come out. That means then the psychologist, with so many questions, with interaction, he got to know that he is in a big trauma. Some trauma is going. And we should not think that everyone who uses black, some black sketches, some black pencil sketches also there, friends. But that the picture we draw, the children, so we can understand them, isn't it? We can, our children, when they draw something, so we have to try to understand, so how their creativity is. That means, so when we put into action our creativity, we will know us better. Okay, so here again says the Seth Master, his work is, now coming to the work, as we have known earlier, he is a teacher. He teaches in different dimensions. He can teach same lessons in different ways according to the abilities and assumptions that are inherent in any given system in which he must operate. So he is a teacher. He teaches in different dimensions and in different dimensions. And this is how, see, he is using his creativity. The same lesson he teaches in different ways, and teacher can understand is much better, right? Teachers and professors, they can, who is the people who are in teaching field, so they can understand much better. So the same lesson they teach in a different way according to the abilities and assumptions. That means We have to teach, but we have to say, here again a lesson. When we share something, we have to teach, we have to explain them according to their level. A primary student can't understand the secondary syllabus, the secondary school syllabus, isn't it? Though we know the secondary school syllabus, he can't understand. So according to their ability, according to their understanding, Seth Master, he teaches in other dimensions, just like us in this dimension, in this 3D world, or could be a higher dimension. So he is teaching us, isn't it? So in the same way, he is teaching us according to the assumptions we have, according to the environment we are in, according to his abilities. So everything is a combination here. And we all have certain abilities, isn't it? And now think of what our abilities are, and how are we using our abilities, to what extent, when we keep on using it to the fullest extent. So he says here, now we have to think our abilities, friends. We have to sit with ourselves. What can I do? So list out the things that you are interested, list out the things that you can do, and don't think about the best. I can do just. You can try or not. Yes, you can try. There are so many arts, driving, cooking, singing, painting, so many arts, like anything we can do. So what can we do? So we have to know our abilities. And again here, this is not from the book. So Seth Master says, when we keep on using to its fullest extent, that means our abilities becomes our strength. When we use our abilities to the fullest, to the extent, those abilities becomes our strength. So we have to remember this. And let's see how Seth Master is creating. So Seth Master, as I said before, he is aware of inner laws that govern all materializations. So it means anyone should not get affected or hurt by our creation. What are we creating? So don't look at the materials or physical objects, friends. We are creating each and every second. We are in creative phase, and we are creating our thoughts. We are creating our words, our actions. So that means we all have that creative ability, but how we are using that, and from where these thoughts are emerging. So we have to be aware of our creativity, right? So coming to manifestation, if it is for self, so many people, so many masters, they like go for manifestation classes, manifestation sessions, and materialistic things to fulfill their desires. So some take help of affirmations, some they give energies to their feelings, so etc etc. So this is how so manifestation works. There are so many books relating to manifestation, right? And here, when I asked about manifestation, and again, this is not from the book, and again, Seth Master said, a caution for us. So he said to be aware in manifestation. And here, whatever he said, so it is here. When you are trying to manifest, you have to be aware of the laws of the universe you live in. Okay? No one should get affected with the manifestation of yours. When you are creating abundance, first, you have to be grateful for the situation, challenges you are facing, and then leave it with love and respect. Then go for creation, keeping loss in mind. Okay? And here what he says, when you go for manifestation, so you can manifest, we have free will, isn't it? We have free will, and we can create anything. So we want for affirmations, we keep on writing in a book, I want this, I want car, I want this much of amount, I want promotion, or anything related to ourself. And here he says, you have to keep in your mind, whatever you manifest, it's according to the law. So what is the law? Not the law that we have created here. It's the law of our environment. That means earth. These dimension laws, that means the dharma, we have to know the dharma, and whatever we are thinking to manifest, are we ready to face the consequences? Again, we have to think about that. Are we ready to face the consequences? If we are ready, if we are in a dharma, if it is fine to create, then yes, we have to go ahead. And when we are manifesting, so he says, we we um, we manifest not by living in the present moment. So we think of some challenges. I want to come out from this challenge. So I want certain amount to clear this debt. I want a car. It's okay. Is it a dharma or everything? So we have to consider. So everything is right. Now, how we have to create? First of all, the challenge what we are facing, we have to be grateful for. We have to express our gratitude because it taught us something. It has cleared us certain karmas. So we have to be grateful. And next, we have to love the challenge. Not from, we should not create or we should not manifest from hatred feeling, from the jealous feeling, this lower frequency. So we have to create from the higher frequency. So what is the higher frequency? Obviously it's love. So from that love, from that gratitude, we have to create, so we have to manifest. So in and the last he says, in my home environment, I assume whatever shape I please, and it may vary and does with the nature of my thoughts. Isn't it? We have created with our thoughts. I want this bouquet here. I want this article here. I want this piece here. This is a masterpiece. This art in the wall. I have to hang this. I have to decorate this wall with a masterpiece. So we think is all our desires, isn't it? So in the same way, he says, it's the nature of my thoughts. You, however, form your own physical image at an unconscious level in more or less the same manner, but with some important differences. He clearly said, you are creating with unconscious level, but he is creating a conscious level. That means, again, here's a lesson that we have to build our consciousness. We have to be aware. So how we can develop our consciousness is, that means we have to build awareness. And next he says, you usually do not realize that your physical body is created by you at each moment as a direct result of your inner conception of what you are. Conception of what you are, or that is changes in important chemical and electromagnetic waves with the ever-moving pace of your own thought. And we think, friends, here we are even creating our body, our physical body. How? With the thoughts. Each and every cell. So it is, so each and every cell. So many, daily, moment by moment, some cells, they die and some they take birth. So when the cells are dying, so when the cells are leaving, so they pass the information, whatever they have stored, they pass the information to the cells which are taking birth. So the same information these cells carry. That means some creation is going on in our body, each and every moment. So how these cell memories existing? The thoughts, whatever we think, it goes into the cell memory. When we leave our body, again we bring back that memory in our DNA, in our cells, to clear that. That is how we are creating our karmas. That is how we are creating our own reality. So even our physical body, we are creating movement by movement, just with our thoughts, he says. And now slowly understand from environment, slowly he came to the physical body, and now physical body to emotions. So in next class, and he also says it changes in important chemical and electromagnetic waves with the ever moving pace of your own thought. So we attract. So as I said before, we have electromagnetic field around us. So we attract according to our thoughts, according to our inner feelings. So for that, we have to increase our frequency. That means we have to be creative. We have to use our abilities to the fullest extent. And next session will go into emotions, or feelings, or patterns, and we will go into the practical meditation session for a few minutes. This is about his work and environment, friends. And think about our work and our environment, our thoughts, just a reflection of how Seth Master is and how are we. So thank you for listening. Thank you for interacting. Thank you so much. If at all you want to share your thoughts, you can unmute yourself. Thank you, Nainaji. Thank you, Sirishaji. So yeah, no one. So that's good. So next we will connect next week with more information about our feelings, how we reflect, and what are our core. We try to see our core blocks, right? Definitely, Seth Master will help us if we are completely in surrenderance, if we are in completely to know more about ourselves. We stop.